Morning, guys. Fit here out at the range. Got a little treat. So we went over my buddy's Viking Dan's big M&P 9mm, the Gen 1, little hinge trigger, things like that. Police trade-in, good deal. Pretty good on the grip, really nice feeling. The hinge trigger is a little weird. Good solid reset to it. Nice and crisp trigger break, things of that nature. Well, I have here another friend of mine, call him Mr. IT, is loaning me his Gen 2 M&P 9mm. This is the compact version, so it's not quite as big on the grip, not as much of a dovetail as you can see there too. So this one also has the adjustable back straps, same as this one here. Both of them are going to be the little quarter turn there on the bottom, and then it's a rod you pull out, swap the back strap. Okay. You got, most of them come with a small, medium, large, and the older school ones. The newer ones come with small, medium, large, and an extra large that allows for a little extra into the dovetail here. As you can see, big difference between the Gen 1 and the Gen 2 is going to be that grip stippling. This one here is uber aggressive compared to a little smoother here. The bigger dovetail off of the Gen 1 versus the Gen 2. Height sights too, if you can look right there. Suppressor height sights or red dot height sights, red dot capable. Most Gen 2s come with a red dot cutout. The Gen 1s do not. You'd have to get it milled, whatever the case may be. This one being a police one did come with the tritium night sights. These ones are just white dots. And again, with my buddy here, this is going to be with the red dot hollow sun. I think the 407 itself. Pretty fancy, pretty neat overall. Front slide serrations is another major difference between the Gen 2 and the Gen 1 as well. Smoothed out front slide serrations here. Another big difference is going to be that trigger, guys. If you see here, has the bladed trigger safety, so it gets a little more positive feedback. Just it feels better on the trigger finger more than anything else. Again, this one here, both of them, nice crisp break. This one here, lighter trigger pull for the most part. A little more on the reset, but again, to each their own. Overall, guys, they are very close, very similar to each other. This one's going to be about 1/4 inch more of a barrel, 1/2 inch more of a barrel overall. They do also both have the ambi slide drops, but you can see how that slide catch lever is a little bit thicker on the Gen 2 versus the Gen 1. So again, little differences like that tend to make a big difference overall. So without further ado, guys, let's go and send some shots downrange, why don't we? The other thing to point out too is magazines from the Gen 1 are intercompatible with the Gen 2 as well. That's one thing they did not change in regards to the M&P platform. So just to start off with, we'll run the Gen 1. I'm going to aim at my plates down the range, and we'll see how it goes from there. So again, guys, Gen 1, regular white sights. Let's see how. There we go. I had to figure out where it was actually hitting, but once I did, you can see what that general accuracy was for the Gen 1. So, again, not terrible. Took me a minute to figure out where I was hitting at with the Gen 1 platform. Again, reliable, guys. It shot well. It feels good. Again, I'm one that I prefer the extra stippling compared to the Gen 2 versus the Gen 1, but an overall solid platform either way. Now, most people are going to be like, oh, you have a red dot on here. How accurate are you going to be compared to one without the red dot? Guys, this red dot's off. Completely off. Nothing there. Nothing to see. You can see the reflections, but no red dot. I'm going to run this one just the way it is. Put rounds down range, and we'll see how it all pans out with standard iron sights. So again, M&P 2.0, iron sights. Ooh. So that trigger on that one is a lot lighter. You heard that little kind of double pull? I normally am coming off the gun after I've pulled the trigger. I'm coming off the trigger after I've pulled it, just get that reset as quick as I can. That one was pretty light. So again, like I was saying, using iron sights, not as accurate, but this is the first time, literally, those 9 shots, my first time ever shooting this handgun. So let's try that again, and we'll see how we do. Go from there. Okay. Red dot is confirmed off. Just iron sights. Let's see how we do. Oh, cock it first. Not bad. Not bad. So again, in regards to manufacturing processes, materials used, they're probably going to be so close to each other, guys. I honestly would have to really dig in or talk to a Smith rep in regards to the actual internal differences of a Gen 1 and a Gen 2. But we will be going back home. I'll tear them apart. We'll look at some of the differences in the interior building and the interior construction of them. But the one advantage of, again, the Gen 2 versus the Gen 1 is the ability to have a red dot. So I'm going to turn this boy back on, and we'll give this another try at the target, and we'll see how I do with the red dot on. All right, guys, M&P 2.0 with the red dot on. Go from there. Seven shots. That was pretty fast, actually. But that's that advantage of a red dot if it's properly zeroed. So here we are. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at in regards to that sight. There it is right there. Little dot. And all I'm doing, guys, is I'm focusing on the target and not on the pistol itself. Iron sights, front sight focus, put it on the target, and pull and squeeze the trigger. With a red dot, you don't do that. With a red dot, I actually look past the handgun. So I'm looking at my target. My target is a clear image. And I bring it up, and I put that dot right on it. The minute I have that dot on it, I squeeze that target and that shot off. Trust me, you're going to see yourself shake quite a bit using a red dot. I mean, even me just holding it right here, it's quite a bit of shake. So they're always surprising at how bad you can shake out compared to not using a red dot. And that's just the way the eyes play, guys. Alrighty, guys, try and get a bit different view for you. What I'm going to do from here is I'm actually going to shoot iron sight at that target and see how fast I can get those 6 shots down, and we'll have it on the timer. So regular iron sight, Gen 1 M&P, and we'll give ourselves a countdown. Stand by. Well, that was terrible. Again, I'm not proficient with these like I am my Glock or my 1911, but what was that, 8 shots, 5 targets? Yeah. 8 shots and only 5 targets. That technically disqualifies me. 6.66 seconds. It was terrible. But now, let's do the Gen 2. And again, this is not just for the sake of a Gen 2, but the actual advantage that the Gen 2 offers the MOS plate. So we're going to use the red dot on this. Again, use every advantage we've got to a degree. Make sure it's not too bright. And we're going to give ourselves another tug. And here we go. I missed one, whiffed it right to the left. I felt that. But 7 shots all the targets down in under 5 seconds. So, begs the question, guys, are red dots right for you? Some people, absolutely. Guys, my glasses are prescription. I can't see about maybe 100 feet in front of me. I can't read for sure at beyond 20 feet in front of me. My sunglasses are prescription. You guys have seen me with glasses. So for me, yeah, I think having a red dot would be beneficial. Can I afford it right now with what I've got? Because I got my stuff around about the time I was just starting to get glasses. I could still see pretty well. Too many knocks to the head, I figure, guys. But anyway, Gen 1 and Gen 2, are red dots right for you? If they are, you might want to consider going the Gen 2 platform. Again, being able to take a red dot, MOS platformed, what do they call them now? Not just red dots, MOS, AOS, whatever acronym people want to use nowadays. Optics cut. Very simple terms. The Gen 2 might be what you want. Again, for me, I really dig the ultra aggressive grip stippling off the Gen 2. I can really get a hold of it. I can feel that good grip overall, and it just shoots well for me. Not saying that the Gen 1 doesn't shoot well, because it absolutely does. But just iron sights, it's a little slower for me. I'm still making those hits. Granted, again, these are 8-inch plates at about 15 meters, 12 meters roughly. It's not as aggressively stippled. I do, however, like that extra dovetail because I'm always gripping up high, guys. Like literally, again, I'm always gripping up high. Like this is my grip. So again, Gen 1, Gen 2, differences. Now let's just have a little bit of fun and shoot some more. Well, at least I'm going to. Stick around. All right, guys. Gen 2 again. I've got exactly 6 shots in this. Let's go ahead and let's go left, right, and see how fast I can do that. Here we go. Oh, whiffed it. Whiffed it bad. 6 shots, 5 targets, 496. Cannot believe I did that to myself, guys. Well, actually, I can. Quite easy to do, actually. Well, that was the Gen 2. Again, having a little fun with it. Nothing wrong with that, I figure. Again, that trigger pull is great on it. I thoroughly enjoy it. The red dot is nice to have. I will give it that overall. But, Gen 1, let's see if I can do better. And again, same thing. Left, right. Go right there. Oh! It wasn't exactly planned, guys. But, yeah, 6 shots. Just shy of 6 seconds. And only 4 hit. I'm going to count that as not a hit. Don't you worry. I'm not that terrible. But, again, not exactly what I'm used to. Let's go with what I am used to. Let's go my zombie, 1911. Let's see how I do iron sights. And again, the iron sights on this, guys, is barely anything. But let's give it a try. Why not? With that one too. So there we are. 4 targets. 8-4 or 8-4-8. Not the greatest. Still low. Still low. But that's what it's about. Having some fun, right? So when it comes to it, guys, always as is, what you train with is what's going to matter. Okay. I don't train with this. This is just me having fun. This is me just kind of showing the differences between Gen 2 and Gen 1. So the Gen 1 M&P, both of them are going to kind of have an offset, if I can get this right, offset slide catch. This one's definitely a little more predominant. It's sticking out kind of right there. I can actually feel it. Whereas this one's very subdued on the inside. So let's take them down, see if there actually is any difference. Both of them are going to have this rotary slide catch. I have to pull the trigger to get it out, which is why they're always empty. So same thing here. Make sure, slide that down, pull it out, make sure it's empty. Again, a slightly longer spring. Looks like everything in the slide, guys, is about the same overall. Kind of that blue colored spring on both of them. Steel springs all the way through, little hex pattern on the catch on that. Both of them are going to have your sear safety. It just, yeah, they almost look verbatim, guys. I cannot. This one's got a couple extra holes in it for the Gen 2. I don't know what that really does for it, other than maybe allowing for the screw holes. They just kind of screw all the way through for the RMR plate, and that's what I'm betting those are. But again, from Gen 1 to Gen 2, not much of a difference. The slides, again, you'll notice the bigger controls there. You'll notice a little bit extra, kind of like a spring catch right there. Beefier slide catch on the Gen 2 overall. The same sear spring catch. It's got a little extra safety detent right there. Looks like off the Gen 1. I don't exactly have a pen on me. I got a pencil. But right in here, you can kind of see a little extra metal place right there, whereas there's nothing here. Looks like they flattened it out versus a big rolled piece of metal there. Everything else looks the same. Everything else looks beefed up. The trigger bar looks good. A little bit beefier on that right here compared to here with the Gen 2 and the Gen 1. But overall, guys, the biggest differences is the lower aesthetics. Blade safety versus the hinge safety. Extra aggressive stippling versus not having so aggressive stippling. Both are labeled with the Smith & Wesson stamp. This one's labeled with the M&P stamp. But as far as lowers go, pretty much the same. As far as slides go, pretty much the same. Internally, they're very much the same. However, externally, the bigger sights, both front and rear, red dot cut, front slide serrations. And I know a lot of people, that front slide serration really does make a difference overall. Lock in place. And again, as far as it goes, it's a good, solid platform. If I wasn't a Glock guy, just for the sake of I shoot Glocks very well, I don't care for their aesthetic much, but they go bang every time. I gotta give them that. I've used them for 8 years in law enforcement. Gotta give them that. But if it wasn't for me using Glocks, I'd probably go with the Smith. I'm not gonna lie. Feels good. Grip angle's right. Not as aggressively angled as a Glock. Both, guys, Gen 1, Gen 2 are solid platforms. Okay? If, again, police, trade-ins, used guns, as long as you take a look at them, make sure they feel good, look good, function good, it doesn't hurt to save a buck for a police trade-in, for a prior used gun. Pawn shop, gun store, that sells used guns, whatever. My gun store, we don't sell used guns. It's all brand new. You're getting the Gen 2. That's what we have. That's what we carry. Got a couple of Gen 1s out there. That's more of like a 45. But, again, what you get, guys, go to your gun stores. Grip them, feel them, see what you think. Most of them will let you dry fire as long as it's not a rim fire. I always let guys See how that trigger feels? See how the trigger reset feels? Scope out red dots if you guys want red dots, okay? In an apocalypse situation, your red dot will die eventually. However, in a personal defense situation, if I have my dot at those combat distances on you, yeah, I'll hit you. But if I have you in my window, period, chances are I'm going to at least hit you somewhere in regards to where you are or where that target is in relation to the window. So, prime example, let me go ahead and turn this red dot off. And let's go ahead and show you what it looks like on a target without the red dot. So most of our plywood targets out here are kind of shot up or in pieces, but there was one that does work. And again, I'm matching that same distance between where I stand to shoot, about right there, and where that target is. Again, trying to look through that, about right there. Here we go. Right there. So that's about 12 meters, 15 meters, somewhere between whether I'm in front of or behind that little pillar right there. But let me show you this. So like right there, guys, about those same distances, 12 to 15 meters. If I bring my gun up, again, and I put you at least in it and point it right at you, chances are I'm going to hit you. That's the example. That's, again, red dots aren't terribly, going to be good for long term, especially if batteries run out, but they still are a viable option. The other advantage to having a red dot is, again, if I need to single hand reload for whatever reason, I can lock it back to the rear. I can run and shoot and function one-handed if it's necessary. Gives you a little bit of a kind of ledge to work with. Most red dots are super durable, super resilient. I mean, as long as, again, you're not smashing them with a cast iron pan or whatever, you drop it, you run it off your belt like I just did, chances are it's going to hold up overall. So again, Gen 2 versus Gen 1. Are red dots right for you? Maybe, maybe not. Do you like the Gen 1s overall? Even Glocks, guys. Glocks are on, what, Gen 5 now? Do you prefer finger grooves with Glocks? Do you prefer the square front or the tapered front that the new Gen 5s have? Do you prefer how the mag releases from the Gen 3 to the Gen 4? Are you a lefty? Because Gen 3's only right-handed. Gen 4s do start making it to where it's ambidextrous on those magazines. The biggest question you got to ask yourselves, guys, is it for me? Is it for you? I don't know. Only you can answer that. If it's me, guys, and I'm going out here, if I'm looking for a budget gun, Gen 1, no problem. These will probably go out. Most of them are going to be used because they don't make the Gen 1 platform anymore, at least in the 9s that I've seen. From what I've seen, Gen 1s, prior used, $350 with magazines. Okay? Gen 2, brand new at my gun store, and I know at least through Smith & Wesson, MSRP about $689, $700 roughly. But you are getting more with it with the front slide serrations, the higher sights, red dot capable, and the more aggressive grip with the blade trigger. So, Gen 1, Gen 2, M&P, Glock, Springfield, is it you? That's up for you guys to decide. What feels good for you is probably what you're going to carry the most. But it doesn't matter if you don't train hard and stay fit, guys. So here I am, Fitpocalypse, Gen 1, Gen 2, comparison overall. So get out there, train hard, stay fit, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Out.